A very good afternoon. Welcome to KU247 News. My name is Blue Smile, and today I'm with the School of Education Congressperson Peter Wafula, or Peter Wafula Emmanuel. Sorry if I'm getting that right. And we have the Nyandarua hostel Congressperson. Then is also called Peter Okelo. So let's do this. So this is the state of the school edition in the university. We're talking about KUSA. We're talking about the 18th Congress. Let's have them introduce themselves. Welcome.
Thank you very much. My name is Wafula Emmanuel, the Congressperson School of Education, now serving for the second term as the congressman.
Okay. Okay, welcome then. Thank you very much. Let's have Peter Okelo.
Thank you very much. My name is Peter Okelo, aka Okelo Serikal, a first-time general of the Congress of Mfumbira Nyandarua.
Okay, the first time congressperson, and then we also have a seasoned congressperson here. Let's talk about the School of Education before we get to the School of Education. Sorry, let's talk about you, Wafula Emmanuel. What is the experience? As in now you are it's a second time. Tell us your experience in leadership.
In that last time, for the time I've been in the leadership, I think I've had a good experience, despite the challenges being around the leadership, but the experience is good, and I think the work I'm doing is memorable, and I think all of you can see whatever we are trying to implement there at School of Education is good.
Okay, it's actually commendable and commemorable. Let's have Peter Okelo. It's actually your first time in government. Tell us your experience so far.
Okay, thank you very much. So my experience in my first time government, I've realized that there are various challenges that we face, but when we report them to the relevant officers, the process really takes too long to be solved.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about the processes, and now you're running this school so far. So let's go to your individual challenges. So this is your second term in office. What are those challenges that you faced, you as a leader, as an individual, not the school, but at an individual level?
As a person, since I entered the office last year in my first term, I think one of the biggest challenge that I faced is limited finance. That's one of the things that every comrade knows, that a leader has money. So every time you find in your DMs, kiongozi sapa, kiongozi lunch, and at that time maybe you as a kiongozi wewe ndio ule umeinama. So it's a bit one of the biggest challenge we as leaders face, because we have presented ourselves to the comrades, and they know that we have money, but literally we don't have.
So you tell me that kiongozi huwa anainama pia?
Yeah, it's very possible, by the way.
So you've had cases, or yourself, have you enamored at one point?
Yeah, I've ever enamored one time. I remember the time I was stolen some goods at my house. But all in all, I think sometimes we go to that extent of kuinama.
Okay, so let's go to Peter Wafula. First of all, ushainama wewe kama leader. Okay, so you answer the question of the challenges you faced since you joined government.
Okay, thank you very much. Some of the challenges I have faced are just concerning the water I promised to deliver. All about the water I promised to deliver to my residents, that is. So actually, in the first semester, I wrote a letter to the direct accommodation concerning the replacement of mattresses.
Yeah.
So, and up to now, I'm still following up with the office, but there is no action that has been taken. So I have to use any other way of finding a better solution concerning that. So, but mambo ya kuinama, okay, me personally, no.
Uzinama bado. Kwa hivyo watu wanaanza kukutafuta bana, ni kama kutafuti sana. Uko na pesa mingi sawa. So let's talk about I'm really interested by the telling us about limited finance. So let's go, because you as an individual level maybe you have limited finance. Let's go to the challenges of your school. Is limited finance one of those challenges that you're facing in schools, as you tell us the challenges you have faced as a school now?
Maybe to pick up from there, we find that it is very hard to operate in a big school like School of Education where I'm serving without finance. We have a lot of activities that we have to plan on. We have a lot of events that we have to do, but without finance, they are ending up to be just written manifestos. So it is very hard, and a budget delay is one of the issue related to shortage of finance, and also the little budget we are given as a school of education, which is a big school compared to other schools. I think that's one of the challenge we face, because we have many students.
What is the budget for the school of education?
The budget has been always 150,000 for the academic year, and for these other schools it has been always 110,000. So when you compare the notes, school of education and any other school of education having a population of over 10,000 and a school having a population of around less than 1,000, operating with that budget is very small to the extent that you can't do all the activities you have planned for your people to enjoy.
So how much do you want as a school, the school of education? Which is the exact amount that you want, so that you can run every...
I think we made some proposals which are never implemented, and these proposals were school of education to be treated independently, just like now as we see how these schools have been merged. School of education has stood out to be on its own. It has not been added any other school, but you find that, like for example, School of Humanities, there has been given other 3 schools. So that merging, if School of Education could be treated independently before even that merging, then we could have been somewhere. We be treated like postgraduate, the way they receive around 208 and above, and so forth. So I think that's doable. We presented the case, but to date nothing has been done, but we hope with the merging of schools something will be done.
Okay, so you've been the congressperson for two terms now. So tell us the exact amount that you say, okay, if you give us this certain this amount, the school of education will run all its activities without any misfortunes or any downfalls.
I think for example, we have activities like, let's say, football. In School of Education you have many departments, over 20 departments, and having 150,000, which is required to do around 2 or 3 events, and when you narrow down to one event, which is football, only refreshment. If you can measure on just buying refreshment for these comrades who are over 10,000, then 150 is over. You can't do any other activity. So I think we need something like it should be treated as an independent school, whereby they channel a good amount of money, and I think that one will help to do as many activities.
Okay, it seems that your congressperson is very bright, that he does not want to speak anything that will get him into trouble. But okay, it's okay. You'll tell us the amount later off the camera. So let's have Peter Okelo now. So tell us the problem that the hostels are facing, especially in Nyandarua. What are those problems that the hostels are facing, the students the hostels are facing?
So me personally, as the Congress of Nyandarua, actually the leader of 2 merged hostels, that is Mfumbiro and Nyandarua. You find that the housekeepers are different, but the Congress is one. So coming to the budget itself, I may add into what my Congress from Education has said. Just to add on to that, I can say that having merged 2 hostels together, that is Mfumbiro and Nyandarua, there is no way that it can be done like Kinamambogo. We have Longo Note, but actually when giving out the budget, I think Mfumbiro and Nyandarua should be independent. They should be assigned their budget, that is. So there is no way you can actually Mfumbiro has got around 400 students, and Nyandarua has got around 400 students. And we find that in some of the other hostels there are even less than 300 students, but their budget awarded is equal. Like this time I heard of the 45,000 that is in our year. After which they expected us to do 2 events. So each event was awarded 22,500, that is. So this 22,500, how am I going to divide it to these 2 hostels and do an event where those who are coming from Mfumbiro can have theirs in the common room, and those who are coming from Nyandarua also can cover theirs in the common room? Can I use my own money? Having not okay, for me personally, sijainama, so but can I use my own money to feed the students? No, that is not allowed. So I just request if they can take that one into consideration. In addition, we find that our hostels are not in good condition. Okay, I'm aware of that, and actually I'm working very closely with the offices to ensure that our residents well-being are taken into consideration. We find that most of the things in our hostels, they're not in good condition. You can go into the washroom, you only find 2 things are functioning, but the students are very many, but most of them are out of repair.
Yeah.
So matters concerning the repair and the mattresses, I'm working very closely with the relevant officers to make sure that one is done.
Okay.
Then in addition is that some of the students are also not responsible. So I also request them if they can be responsible for taking care of the properties in the hostels. We find that some of them, concerning the theft cases in the hostels, there are nowadays it is rampant. It is mainly because many of these our students, they do bring strangers in the hostels. But remember, your friend is not my friend, so that your friend cannot be a friend of someone. So that one you cannot know whether a person is a thief or not. He will not steal your property, but will steal someone else's property. So to avoid this, we have employed policies and regulations to avoid or to prevent the students from bringing strangers into the hostels.
What are some of those?
Actually,
some of them?
Yesterday, there was one boy which was found with the same case of bringing the student into the hostel, and was taken into to the disciplinary office committee, that is.
Okay.
Yes.
So one thing about the hostels, actually we call them just random hostels. Sorry for this. We're talking about Nyandarua, Mfumbiro. They do not have a housekeeper who can record the visitors, the ones who are coming in, unlike Nyayo and Kilimambogo. It has been really hard for them to maybe monitor who is coming to the hostels. How are you going to, make sure that we do not have those thefts, those increased number of strangers in the hostel, while we cannot even keep record on who is coming to the hostels?
Yes, so we are just going to put on policies. So if one of the students have done that, you have to be judged. You have to be given some punishment. But how we can prevent that is just giving some sort of punishment to the student. That is because a stranger cannot come into the room and no one knows or no one knows into that room. So the person who is in charge will take the.
Okay, so how will you know that there's a stranger in a room in Nyandarua while we do not have anyone who can monitor those people? Will you go and knock into everyone's door?
Okay, actually, me personally, in my group, I have a group of the residents. So in each and every block, I have got my loyalists. Yes, they are there. So what I'll do, I'll make sure they know the number of the students in each hostel. So each and every, maybe in the evening or before the students go for the sleep, they can just go attending the hostels.
Okay, so we're talking about strangers past 10.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so I'm getting that right.
Maybe in addition, because I'm also a resident at Menengai, Old Menengai 1, I think this calls for accountability, specifically for residents in the hostels, to ensure that they are safe themselves, because safety starts with yourself. If they can be helpful, for example, if they are roommates and there are strangers coming and they don't know him, and they overstaying over there, they have to report. That's the only way we can reduce those cases. But if there is no other way, because we don't have a record that this person has entered this house at this time, I think everyone should be keen and be accountable for that. I think it will help us to reduce such cases.
Okay, so I really want to talk about these activities that you people are planning, because people are complaining that you people just the activities you are planning for us are just sports, and some are saying that there are the activities that apart from sports that you can involve in, because not everyone in the school, not everyone in the hostel is a footballer. Okay, tell us what are some of the activities that you planned for the School of Education once the budget is out.
I think the School of Education, we had requested in our requisition for funds and in our making of the budget to have around 4 activities. One of them was the outreach. Wanted to go and do some mentorship in one of these big schools, that's Alliance High. We wanted to go there to make some connection as we mentor those students. And number 2, we had planned for sports, as you said, because my school has a department for physical education, which we feel like doing sport will really cater for them and outshine their talents, and through that they can be spotted by the main team and other teams to be part and parcel of it. And also many students love sports, they love football and they love sporty activity. So by doing that, we'll be doing something good for them. They will be entertained, they will enjoy, they will be part, they will cheer. That one will be encouraging teamwork. We had also planned for an event to sensitize on CBC, because CBC has been one of the biggest challenge that many students don't have information. So we had a platform whereby we want to have an education on CBC, so the student, when he enters school of education, he knows he's a CBC student and this is the requirement for me to graduate. This is my requirement. Without this, I can't graduate, or without this, I can't be employed by the TSC. That's the third activity. And then the fourth activity, we are planning to have one of the unique thing that has never been there in the school of education. That's Mr. and Mrs. Education, and that's I think those are the 4 activities we had planned. We still in the line of them, but with the budget now, because the requisition of the budget was around 400,000, but now with the budget of 150, we don't know how we will do it, but we will see how we can balance. Maybe do two or 3 if possible, but with limited finance.
Okay, so that's very well elaborated. Let's have the hostels now. So people know that your activities are usually sports. Tell us, what is the Nyandaro Mfumbiro Hostel Committee trying to come up with this time?
Okay. Actually, for Nyandaro and Mfumbiro hostels, those hostels are mainly meant for the boys, and you just know the boys do like football. So that one is one of among the event. That is one of them. Another one, we have the talking of the concerning the health issues, they are rising on gonorrhea in our nation. That is, so I'll urge, and in our committee we have talked of the reproductive health sensitization. Yes, so we have that as an event, and we also have of some of the students, they cannot they're addicted of drugs. So we have drugs and abuse, so we can also have that drugs and drug abuse health talk.
Okay.
So I think due to the limited resources or the limited budget that is being under process, I cannot do above 3 events.
Okay.
The resources are limited, but if you have more plans minus capital, then what you are doing cannot be successful.
Okay, so of course we're talking about money, we're talking about capital, we're talking about the budget. So tell us, where has the budget reached? The school, you're the majority leader.
So I think at the moment, as we have liaised with the treasurer Kusa, he has said everything is done. The vice chancellor has signed, so we are just waiting. He has approved, I mean, so we are just waiting to see how far it will go, so that when the finance are done, then we start receiving those budgets.
And
so
how much are you receiving?
I think we always receive half at the first time, half batch, that is around 75, and then next year,
The next one.
Yeah.
Okay, so where have reached according to your sources, the budget?
So it's just the same. There is the requisitions process is always the same for the both the schools and the hostels. Always for the schools, they always do theirs ahead of us. So theirs will take place first, is when ours will take place after theirs. So up to now, I can say that it is just the same the way he has said. For the hostels, it was awarded 45,000. So this 45,000 is going to be offered in halfway. First time after you are complete with the first event, then batch of the other batch is given or offered. That is after the accountability.
Okay, so give us an approximate date where your first event will start.
Approximately, if I say, but avoid rumors, right?
Okay.
So it can be before 20th of February.
Before 20th of February.
Yes.
Wafula,
Still, that is my expectation. Around 15th February, we should have rolled out activities. And I mean, as we start the February month, I believe the money will be out, and we will be rolling out activities. But we are not sure because it's until the process is done, and then we get the money.
okay, so let's finish up with this story. So KU is full of meme loads. So the next thing, I just get a message or a DM, and then this person sends me a meme of you Congress leader, a guy who has been tagged as the Congressperson, with a dish of maybe a meal. So when this comrade is eagerly waiting for this dish to be opened, when they open, they find that it's nothing. And of course, I was concerned. I wanted to ask you, what did you promise these comrades that they feel now that you're not fulfilling your promise? What do you promise, and what is the reason why these comrades feel like you're not doing your work?
I think when I was campaigning, and it is very categorical that when I was campaigning, I never made a serious promise to these people. What I made is a commitment.
What do you mean
I
by
never
serious?
made a promise, because sometimes I realize promise can be easily be done away with. I made commitment with them, and I laid my manifesto as a part of commitment, me and them, and that's what we have started implementing with or without even the budget. We have started implementing most of them. I say the issues to do with the missing mark, and there is a hallmark story of missing mark, very big story that we are dealing with, and one of the things we have realized, missing mark, to eradicate it is not easy. So the only way we are doing as a school, and I believe all other schools are doing the same, is we want to do something called preventive measures so that we don't encounter such issues of missing marks. And that's where you see we have issues of UCU 110, around 400 students have those issues. At the moment, we don't have marks in their portals. They have not kept. So in the pre-release of the list of missing marks, it keeps us aware, and it makes us make hay to do the correction before now the actual release of the marks. And then when they are uploaded in the portal, it will be easy. But when we have a missing mark, we only have a new office that was opened at a registrar's academic office called data entry. That's the only office now responsible for uploading the marks. And you can imagine have the issues of missing mark, every student piling the issue, and we have few personnel in that office, around 4 or 5, because it's not bound for students to enter. So there are very few. And imagining they have over 10,000 cases. You have an issue of missing mark, you want to graduate on July. These people cannot finish those issues, those 10,000 issues within that short period of time. And that's why we have time. They take time for an issue of missing mark to be dealt with, over even a year, for that issue of a missing mark to be dealt with. So on our side, we have resolved back to do what? Preventive measures, so that an issue of missing mark may not occur. We have charged all departments to release the list of students who have issues with missing mark before the actual uploading of marks in the portal, so that when students know, they go back, they check what they are missing, they bring the evidence, they are corrected before they are going to be uploaded.
Okay, so you told us the university has only one office of handling the missing marks. So what should the university do, according to you?
I think the coming up of the office was good, because the office, there were issues of theft. I mean, people were coming with their own grades. You see, people are very intellectual, so they come up with their own grade, and they can easily even register their unit without paying fees. So
this is that the hostel Congress leaders made to the students, and are they fulfilled? What are the measures? What are those moves that you are taking as leaders to make sure that you fulfill the promises, and you reduce these complaints by comrades?
Yes. So some of the promises we made, for me personally, I'm not now talking of the others, but I'm now talking for the residents of Nyandarua Mfumbiro. So I will say that for my members, I promised them of ensuring enough tables and chairs in the hostels, and I had communicated in the group, yes. And I said all those members that have inadequate chairs in their rooms should go and pick the chairs. Some of them went there, but some of the students did not respond positively. So that is now they are also making my work to become difficult in fulfilling what I promised. That is one. Another one, I promised that I'll ensure there is enough in each and every hostel. There must be a dustbin. That is under consideration. The same was done, and it is taken care of. In addition, I would like to say that concerning the letter I wrote previously last semester, I'm repeating it for the second time. I requested for the office for the replacement of the mattresses. We find that the mattresses in Eastern Zone as a whole, not only even the Mfumbiro and Nyandarua only, but now I'm talking for the Eastern Zone. excluding the girls. I don't understand why girls are given such
It's actually not good.
Yes, so excluding the girls like the Abadeas and I don't know there, but now concerning we have Olumendegai and we have Fumbiro Nyandarua there, and some of parts of the western. Unlike Nyayo, the mattresses we are using are very thin. And when I wrote the letter, it has taken quite some time, so it is taking very long, and our students are suffering.
Okay.
So I'm kindly requesting for the
Deputy President Mary Moli.
yes to respond accordingly.
Yeah.
I'm just requesting to respond accordingly.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're finishing it up, or we're wrapping it up. So let's have you speaking to your comrades. Those who actually the School of Education has very interesting memeblogs. So the next thing you say here, it might appear in a meme. So let's have you telling them to wait and a word to them.
Okay, thank you. Maybe just to recap what I've said, at School of Education we have a lot of plans this semester. We have rolled them out. One of the things is ESO. We want to come up with one of the biggest club ever seen in Kenyatta University, that's Education Student Organization. We'll be launching it soon. We are working on it at the moment. We are also having plans to have those activities that I have said earlier on. We'll be rolling them out as soon as the budget is out. We're also planning for you a lot of things, and we're also just asking you to be cooperative as we forge forward. Also remember, whatever we are sharing, make sure you do according to it. The CBC students, make sure whatever we promise, whatever we promise you at the moment, we have done our best. Now you'll not be going to those primary schools, you'll be going to those secondary schools at least to enjoy your tea and so forth. So I think to our side, we have tried, and we ask you for cooperation as we embark on now serving you as the semester goes. Otherwise, I'm very grateful, looking forward to continue serving you people. Nawapenda sana.
Okay, mnapenda sana. Let's have Peter Okelo. Tell us the plans, and tell them to wait for the mattresses.
Yes, for my residents, that is Mfubei and Nyandarua, I urge you to remain patient, as I am working I'm working very close with the relevant officers to ensure the well-being of our students in the hostels. So the issue of concerning the mattresses, I'm following up with the officers, and it will be solved very soon.